down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Hey, you tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show. This is your friend, Steve VanCauwenbergh, a.k.a. Savvy. You tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show, Savvy Podcast. I'm excited, hopefully that you are, because you're moving in the right direction. I'm trying to be consistent. Hopefully you're trying to be consistent, that you're a regular listener, but you're also an application. You're moving forward. And right now we're going through some personal development. I was just thinking, man, how much real estate have I covered, or how much investing or entrepreneur or whatever? But when I started thinking about it, I'm like, what's the most important thing? Goals. That's it, ladies and gents. You got to have goals. And I don't think you can have enough goal seminars, classes, or reading about them. Now, of course, there's a ton of good material out there, and there's probably a new generation of setting goals and software. But we're gonna dive in today. This is going to be down and dirty quick on the art of goal setting. So, wherever you're at in your life, hopefully that you're striving for something that's going to move you forward to be the better person that you want to become. And to do that, you got to set some goals. So what are your goals? Well, one quick thing you should do is label them this way: a short-term goal, immediate or intermediate goal, and a long-term goal. Not immediate, like short-term could be immediate, right? But like a short-term goal, intermediate goal, and a long-term goal. So like your long-term goal could be, hey, I want to have a net worth of blank, or I want to have this many doors or units, or however you want to apply that in your own life. A short-term goal could be, hey, I want to eat right and not eat past 7 o'clock every day for the next 5 days. Okay. Short-term, intermediate, it's like what you're striving for. I would say about 30 days. They say that it takes 21 days or so many days to create a new habit. So that could be your intermediate goal, whatever the case may be. But break them down. Like grab a piece of paper. If you're driving, hey, I hear you. Go through this, go back and re-listen to it. But grab a piece of paper, 3 quick columns: short term, intermediate, and long term. All right. So let's just break them down in that way. Now, I've just been studying lately. I just tuned into a Zig Ziglar new release. I know the guy passed, but his foundation has come out with a new course. It's off the chain. It's called the Richer Life System. And there's a chapter, I think it's chapter 5 in there, about self-esteem. And I just think that self-esteem is critical for success in goal setting, in your personal life, in your marriage. Like if you don't have a good self-esteem, you're not going to contribute to someone else, right? You have this hurdle in front of you. So you've got to overcome what's your limiting belief or what's holding you back. And goal setting improves your self-image. It improves today. Seriously, if you pulled over, grabbed a piece of paper, a notepad, hopefully that you do, and you just started putting the word goals on top, you're going to already improve your self-image. It improves you today. It makes you better tomorrow with your self-image, okay? So goal setting does that. Goal setting makes you aware of your strengths and your strengths that you can develop to overcome obstacles. And these strengths that you're going to develop through goal setting provide solutions to your problems. And so, for example, like say I have a difficulty like a loan. I can't close a deal. And if I write it down and I just started using my conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, and start writing it down, solutions usually come to the problems. And if I can't decipher or figure it out right then I just reach out to someone else. But when you put on paper your goals and you're going to be aware of what you're good at, what are you good at? What can you exchange with someone else? Writing this down, creating a goal will help you through that process. Also, when you're setting goals, it makes you aware of what your weakness is. Man, I'm telling you, it's a phenomenal thing. Whatever I'm weak in, I want to replace or outsource with something else. And the school teaches you you're not good in Spanish or you're not good in English, so you spend all your energy and all your time on your weakness and you leave your strength dormant. That's just sad. So when you're setting your goals, like how am I, like I want to acquire this many assets, and what strength can you do? Maybe you can outsource the paperwork, transactional, or the marketing, sales, whatever the case may be. But when you are writing out your goals and you're setting them and you're like, okay, what am I weak in? What's my weakness? And you can turn it into a strength, by outsourcing, by writing it out, deciphering it, know what's going down. You also lower your level of frustration. Okay. So what is that trigger, and so you can replace it. I mean, but you wouldn't do this if you haven't gone through this exercise. And then when you write, like I love looking at other people's goals to help them and just encourage them. But you replace vagueness and doubt with structure and direction. When you have a goal, I know that I'm trying to publish this book, the Private Money book, and I know that I'm trying to publish it by this day. There's no vagueness there. I have to get this much done at this time I got to get the artwork done. It creates direction and also structure. Okay. So here's another one. All right. So we're on this goal setting, the art of goal setting, and, you got your structure and your direction. Setting goals gives you a sense of past victories, how far you've come. It stimulates you. Like, man, I was just going through, when did I start this podcast? And it's not been easy, right? There's several times I wanted to quit. There's actually when I first started the podcast, I had a friend of mine. We were going to do it together. He had a Macintosh, which, obviously I'm against, or Apple. I'm not against it, but I'm not a big fan of it. And he was going to run this software called Garage, and I was going to MC, and we were going to go interview people and do all this stuff. And then, boom, the dude bailed on me. And then I was like, man, I've committed to this. And then I went back today and realized, man, I started this thing in May 2015, 7 years ago. That's just crazy. And during that process, like I said, it wasn't easy. I mean, if you follow me since then, I've tried to quit. I have given up. And then actually when my friend bailed on me, I was like, I'm out. It's just too much work, content, delivery, edit. I mean, just all this stuff. And my wife just said, she just encouraged me. Stephen, I think you need to do this. But it's just great when I look at my new goals right now. My new goal right now is to do a podcast a week. I had audacious goals before, 3 times a week. I don't know if you were following me back then, but I had like Nerd Rock Wednesday, Fabulous Friday with deals. I'm like I had nothing going on. I was just cutting out these podcasts. And now it's like, man, how am I going to get these in? But I just set a goal, and I just remember my gives you the sense of my past victories and where I'm moving forward. Goal setting and written goals help you visualize, actualize and action-size your motives, like what you're trying to do. It gives you a vision, and now you have to take action. Statistics show that only 3% of the population has written goals of any kind. So if you pulled over, like I suggested 5 minutes ago, to write down your goals, you're already in the top 3%. Everybody has a goal. Everybody has a dream. Maybe it's to finish school. Maybe it's to make $1 million, whatever the case may be. Everybody has goals, right? They think they do, but only 3% of the population has written it down. I know that sounds like so far off and you can't believe it, but it's true. Ask people. Are you going to be that? Are you going to be in the top 3% right out the gate? The elite group typically earns 97% tenfold than the people that don't write goals. I already know this for a fact. Just writing my goals down every day, looking at my goals, I'm already ahead of the game economically of the average. Don't be average, be above average. Setting goals gives you track to run on. It gives you like an airplane. It gives you the runway. So you know what you're looking at, where you're going, what you should be doing. Most people are headed for nowhere. And where are you headed? And that's why you have to write these goals down. And honestly, this is why I'm doing this right now. And I have a ton of goal setting on the podcast. And I feel like, man, I'm doing too much personal development right now. And what are people? But this is just, I'm just reflecting on where I am right now. I am holding on to my goals. I'm holding on to the process of redefining them every day. I'm looking at them. How can I push the ball one more step? What's one more call? Like I was thinking, like, man, I was going over the podcast, setting this new goal. I'm gonna try to do one a week. I got 44 weeks left in the year. Man, I need to get more interviews. And I've tried to reach out to some people. Some people don't read their email anymore. Some people don't respond. And then I was like, I wrote down another goal. I'm like, not a goal, but I wrote down this thing. Okay, write a better cover letter so I can get better people to interview. And then I was like, okay, obviously whatever I'm doing before, how do I get elite people on the podcast? And this is what your mind starts working. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I could, I know somebody in my life that can help me write a better cover letter. Or is it my approach? Do I send them an email? Do I send them a big cookie in the mail and maybe they'll get their attention? Maybe I can get someone spectacular on the Savvy Radio Show. I don't know. But my goal is once a week. I got to kick in some interviews. I think interviews are important. I love listening to people's perspective and how they achieve their success or what path that they take. Maybe I should start asking them in the interview, do you write your goals down? I don't know. Only the top 3%. When you write your goals down, and this is just for me, and I'm reviewing them daily, which I recommend you to do, it forces you to set priorities. You establish the proper direction for your pursuits. And it makes you be specific in what you're doing. Like, I'm very specific. And I think that's where I kind of got derailed. You know, I'm constantly fighting this. I hate the word depression. I'm high and then I'm low, up and down, up and down. How do I stay? You know, I have a good way of hiding it. Maybe my family doesn't know. Obviously, my staff doesn't know. But internally, I struggle with this. And I know all high achievers do. But how do I overcome that? Is this by setting my goals and working on them. Sometimes I get so enabled that I can't even do them. If you could relate to this, let your boy know. We can have a group goal counseling session. The cool thing is this becomes the first positive step in you overcoming that lull in your life. When you write that goal down and then you set those priorities. My priority is like my quiet time in the morning and to review my goals. And then I have this thing in my phone that pops up. What did I move forward to today? What steps did I take? Did I write that cover letter? And then now I've been adding, okay, what's one little thing that I can do? Could I reach out to one person? And I reached out to one person and they didn't respond. I texted them. I reached out to a friend the other day. I sent him an email. Hey, you said that you could help me with video. And I sent him an email. He doesn't respond back to me. And then I said, but then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stop there. Maybe he's busy. Give him some grace. And then I sent him another email. No response, right? But I'm making positive steps towards my goal. So if you're having a problem right now, you're struggling with, you're not reaching your goal of $1 million or buying another asset, dial it way down and ask yourself, what's the one step that I can do today? Can I call a realtor? Can I connect with someone in the industry? How about a banker? Yes, I've received deals through bankers. And that's kind of the one I love talking to them. They have a different mindset than a regular real estate investor that, wants more deals. A banker, they want to do it right. They're a little bit more conservative. I mean, you can grow from anyone, but make that positive step today towards that goal. What could it be? Could be so small. Here's the cool thing. Setting goals, okay, separates reality from wishful thinking. You could be worth X amount, and I think you should have these audacious big goals like Mount Everest, right? You want to climb Mount Everest, right? But the reality is, are you overweight? Reality is it must be defined. Where are you today? Take inventory. Are you really want to go to Mount Everest? Are you on the treadmill every day? Are you on the stepper? Are you on the elliptical? Can you handle the oxygen? You're right. That could be your dream. Are you saving? Are you going out to eat all the time? If you're trying to buy investments, getting a coffee at Starbucks, is that going to help you? Your net worth? It's helping Howard's net worth. Is it helping your net worth? All right. The reality sets in when you do your financial statement or your balance sheet every month and you're like, reality. I'm telling you, reality sets in. I got these goals and I'm like, man, I'm cash short right now. I don't know if I could acquire that asset. It needs $200,000 down. It's reality. It sets in. It defines the various roles you must play. And I hope that this strikes a chord in you. There's a lot of young investors that I help that I love. They're amazing. But it dials down to their success is that they don't take the time to work on their finances. You've got to work on your finances, your balance sheet, your financial statement, because that brings you into reality and it's defined and you know where you're at so you can make the right decisions. How much cash do I need to have in reserve? How am I ready to deploy? Or when you're looking at your financial statement, we went over a couple episodes ago, when should I refinance? When you look at it and you're analyzing each asset, is it performing at the level as it could be? Maybe if I infuse some $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 into that asset, redo the bathrooms, could I get $300 more a month? See, I'm the reality. I want $1,300 a month rent. I'm only getting $1,000. But how could I get to do that? Reality is I have this much cash, and what can I put in it? And if you're looking at your finances once a month, it's defining where you're at and knows who you are. It's your record, your report card, however you want to look at it. Setting goals makes you responsible for your own life. There's no excuses. You are responsible. You are where you're at because of the goals, the decisions that you've made. I'm really pushing my children right now to read. It's difficult. It's not easy. They won't see the fruits right now, but I have to get responsible. I have to get crazy with them. Like, you want to be on the game machine, you want to be on a tablet, whatever the case may be. You want these things. You got to do these things to get these things. It creates responsibility for them. It defines their values. What's more important, YouTube or reading, right? Or family time? Take responsibility. If you don't have any goals, then establish them now. You got it. I'm telling you, I'm trying to bring this conviction on you to, it's going to make you a better, if I gave you the cure for cancer and I know exactly, to do it and you don't take it, that's your decision, right? But if you really want to go to the whatever level or have financial freedom, you've got to set goals. You've got to take responsibility and you got to do it now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Can you do that? Goal setting serves as criteria to sharpen your decision-making skills. I'm telling you, the bigger you become, right? By very basic biblical principle, the more you can handle, the more you can you receive, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. It boils down to decision-making. We talked about this a while back in a couple podcasts. Like, why does someone make $10 an hour and why somebody makes $100,000 an hour is because I guarantee it's the decisions that they can make. And if you're setting goals, it sharpens that. What am I going to pursue my time on? I used to have a ton of goals in front of me, and then I would be overwhelmed. And then I would have these little goals, and right now I got about 10. I wonder how many goals I have. I wrapped them off the other day, but I wonder how many that I have, and it keeps me focused. But I have to sharpen my mind, my decision making. What am I going to work on right now? Well, what's my priority right now? I have to make a decision. Should I go work out, or should I go do this, or can I do both? Can I listen to a podcast? You feel me? Decisions are always made in the light of what your standard is. What are you going to finish this goal? Without defining your standards, decisions will be made in terms of immediate pressure. You'll just be this wind. You'll just be knocked over. And I have this in my job. My day job, a tenant could blow up, and what's more important? I'll get to that when I get to it, when I allocated the right time to do that. Well, anyway, these were just quick, down and dirty, the art of setting goals. I hope that this straight motivates you. You're shaking in your boots right now, and you feel convicted that you haven't written your goals down. They're not on a piece of paper. They're not on your phone. I hope that you take today and you take the opportunity to write those down. You want to share those with me? Great. I would appreciate that. I shared my goals with you. Maybe I can help you define them. Maybe I can help you sharpen them, translate them, or just encourage you, or ultimately give you permission that you can achieve those goals. If you don't write them down, you're not going to achieve them. Anyway, this is your friend Savvy, Steve VanCauwenbergh. You tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show. Let me know if there's a subject or a question. Share it with me. Let's grow together. Oh, and go buy assets.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.